Me and Poetic Flakko are cool again.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened there? Because he was going hard at you, man. He was like, I remember talking to him. He was like, "Yo, Vlad's taking all of my videos down, and so him." And I was just like, "Man,
yeah,
that's not a war you want to really even try to fight."
So with Poetic Flakko, it was like he was putting up my videos and he was cutting off the logos, putting his own big old logo on it. And when I talked to Adam about it, I asked, "Listen, I know this guy works for you, so I don't want to strike his stuff." You know, he was like, "Okay, I'll tell him." And then Adam told him, he's like, "Yeah, when I mentioned it to him, he was really angry about it and felt it was something. It was a very negative reaction." And he had done some other sort of negative stuff about me since then. So when I saw another one of my videos pop up, you know, in my copyright like page, I said, "I'll strike him again." You know, like, if you want to keep this going, we'll keep it going. And then, you know, that made him even more mad because I think he got his whole page taken down. So it was like a Vlad, you know, and it kind of kept going on and on and on. And then like some people would send me some screenshots that may not have even been true. Like I think people were like photoshopping something that he said or whatever else. And it got to the point where he did something that I felt was sort of over the line. You know, I mean, he started talking about my family.
Really?
Right. So I called up Adam and I said, "Okay, look, I normally don't give a shit about this. And, you know, people could talk or whatever else, but I would never have someone who I employed full time talk about your family. So I draw the line at this. So, you know, if this is, you know, I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you who to employ. This is your business, whatever, but we can't continue to with each other if you have someone on your team that's attacking my family." You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to do this. You're my friend. And this is hurting me to have to say this because I really like you and I respect you and we've done a lot of cool together. But I have lines that I draw. And unfortunately I have to draw this line. He goes, "Well, let me, what if I get you guys on the phone together and I'll hold the phone so no one's recording or whatever else," right? And I'm like, "Sure, no problem." And we got on the phone and he was like, "Yo, when I did this, I really thought I was trying to like come across as more of a peaceful thing, but I
was he stuttering?"
He was kind of stuttering, yeah. He was kind of stuttering, yeah. But he wasn't, you know, he was like, "Yeah, no, I could see why you would take this way, but I was trying to actually be nice about this, but whatever." And
he usually has good intentions.
Yeah, like the way he was describing it. And listen, whether or not I totally believed every single thing that he was saying didn't matter, because my thing is, if at the point that we talk, if you're not standing behind and saying, "No, I didn't mean it that way," I'll take you for your word. And I feel like at that point, there's no reason, if the person is not trying to escalate things with me further and they're saying, "Really, I didn't mean it this way," I'll be like, "Okay, cool. I will take you at your word." And at the end of the conversation, I said, "I'll tell you what," even though he didn't ask me for it, I said, "If you forward me the strike information, I will retract it for you."
Really?
And just recently, he forwarded me the information, and I did the retraction, and the retraction came through, and I forwarded it back to him. And that was just me volunteering to show him that. And I said at the very beginning, I said, "Listen, had you and I met in a different circumstance, I would have been very supportive, because I always support young content creators. From you to Charlemagne, to Adam, to Sean Cotton, to you know, Hollywood Unlocked with Jason. Like, the list goes on and on and on. Unless you are going out of your way to say Vlad, you know, whatever else, trying to come up, I was always supportive, because I'm just older than all y'all.
Yeah.
And I just been doing it a little bit longer.
And you don't look at competition like how I think.
And I don't look at competition. So basically, I was just like, "You're not even asking me to retract this, but I'm going to do it anyways." And I retracted it. So if you notice, you haven't seen anything negative coming from Flakko to me.
Yeah, no, he's been very appreciative.
Yeah, man. And that's the way it should be, because ultimately, you're causing, this, not him causing, but our situation is causing problems with Adam, who's not in the middle of it. But ultimately, since you're employing him, you are kind of in the middle of it. You know what I mean? You have to, as the leader of a team, you kind of have to set a leadership role in what you do. You know what I'm saying? And my thing was like, you've never seen anyone in my company attack anyone that I'm cool with, because I just wouldn't tolerate it. You know what I'm saying? Like a boss has to be a boss. And like I said, man, when you got on the phone, it wasn't on some shit. It was like, no, I didn't mean it this way. I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it this way. And I'm like, all right, cool, man. I'll take you at your word. I'll take it at your word. And, unless I see something otherwise, unless there's a flip-flop that's the opposite of what we're saying, we could all be cool and we could all work together. So you really only got issues with just one person, which is the art of dialogue person. I don't even have issues with him. It's just that I don't, he didn't want to talk to me, and it is what it is. There's also the Mark LaFlop Hill. But he doesn't count in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. You still don't see yourself ever, like, maybe like doing an interview with, like, say, like Troy Ave, though, right? I mean, the Troy Ave is, it's just unfortunate, man. Because Taxstone, I heard your interview with Math. I consider a friend. I heard your interview with Math about that. Yeah. And Math was so heated and spirited about the other side. Because I knew that I was hitting really close to home. I don't think anyone could have had that conversation with Math except for me, because Math feels so strongly about that, and he has such an aggressive personality. But Math knows what our relationship is. I've always just had good intentions for Math. You know what I'm saying? I've always said, yo, this is going to be the biggest dude out of battle rap. He's going to be bigger than battle rap. He's going to, I'm introducing him to people saying that. Like, as soon as his podcast popped off, I was a guest on his podcast. Like, Math knows that there's nothing bad coming from me to him ever. So I knew that I could push him on this subject, knowing that he's close to the situation on the banger side of things. And, it went pretty much the way I thought it would go. He disagreed with me. He felt that Taxstone was in the wrong. I disagree with that. And it just is what it is. And unfortunately, you have a person who's dead and a person who's doing, I believe, 35 years over a situation that was just about talk. It was just about running their mouth, which is being done all the time with all of us. But no one has to die or have it turn into a violent situation.